Good morning. We had a problem with our step quit moving on our last trip, so I unhooked the attachment to the steps and then just ratchet strapped the steps back so we could go on our way in our trip. And when we got home, I decided to get working on this. So we'll unbox it and then I will show you the procedure in which to change out the step motor. Okay, first off, we're just gonna open up the box. I bought it on Amazon. There are a lot of options on Amazon for this, price-wise in both that and other companies. I don't know if one's any better than the other. I don't know the fact that they're American made or not. I have no idea in this case. But this comes out of the box. It's bubble wrap. And here's the motor. Simple and easy. Don't know if they have the part number on here, but maybe at the end I can tell you what that is, but it was simple to find, and this is the motor. So the first thing we're going to do is pull a fuse so we don't have anything open or close on us. The fuse actually operates two things. It operates the step here, as well as it operates the step cover. So you go around to the side of the bus, which in our case is a 2014 Tiffin Allegro bus LP. I come in here, look at the fuse box, and right here, this one on the top in the middle, is the 10 amp fuse that you take off, set down, make sure it's out of the way. Now nothing's going to move underneath, and we go over here, grab the motor, and we head under the bus. All right, let's just start out with me putting my glasses on. When you get to be my age, that's the next process. This is what was hooked up right here, and it was hooked to this right here. That's what I unhooked, and then the steps swung back, and then I just took a couple of ratchet straps here and strapped them from here back to the frame, and that pulled the steps back and we were able to get on our way. Now with everything undone, first thing I'm going to do is make sure the one I bought works. So we're going to unplug the current one, which is plug is right here. So I'm going to unplug that. Just got a pull tab on it. Pull that up, pull these apart. Going to have to unbolt this bolt here. Let's see if I brought the right size with me. I don't think I did. I think that's a little smaller. So that's a little smaller. But I have all my tools with me next to me. So we'll find the right size. A little smaller. And yeah, that'll probably work. I don't think this is probably metric. Yeah, it's 8mm, but we got to unhook this part of the wire from where it's bolted to the frame. Now I have the luxury of having a bunch of air tools as well as electric tools, but in here hand impact makes my life a lot simpler and a lot faster. So I just put this on and I'm able to buzz that right off just like that. So we'll set, you can see it's also got this ground wire here, so you don't want to mess that up and forget about it, but that goes back up underneath here. Put the screw down, and now you have a little bit, one more here. Take that one off, and those are the ones that hold your, you got to spread it apart a little bit here, but it holds your plug into your pump. Now I'm guessing we'll probably have to put this back in for a ground wire for right now. I think I took that one off wrong, thinking that was holding the cable, but I wasn't paying attention. So we just put that back on. That's back on. And now we'll take this one and take the new pump, or we'll now take the new motor, and I'll plug it right back in here. And you can see right here's the cog that will go on to these little nubs. So I want to make sure that this thing is in fact working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it down, but I'm going to set it aimed where I can see it by looking underneath the bus after putting the fuse back in. So you can see I've got it just setting here, and I'll be able to see from the other side. Now I'm back up top, back to where the fuse blocks are, this out of the way. Take my fuse, put it back in here, and then quickly look down below to see if I see the motor turning, and you'll hear it. Okay, I put the fuse in, and we come around here and look at the motor. You can see it. I'll move your camera a little closer. You can see the motor. When I open the door, it should move. And there you go. And stop. So now we know the motor works and our plug-in is good. On to the next step. All right, so we're back around to the fuse box, back to the module. We take out that fuse so nothing happens while we're working on it, and just pull that out, set it down like that, and now we can go underneath the bus again and get working on installation. That's off, it's unhooked. When I unhooked the steps from the bus and just ratchet strapped them back when we had a problem, I unhooked this particular part from right here. Real simple. If you ever have a problem with your steps, unhook this from this and take some straps like I did and just strap it from, pull the steps back, strap it underneath the steps somewhere here, and then strap it up to the frame somewhere in here, and that'll hold your steps back till you get home. That's what we did. That's what caused me to have to do this repair now. But now that that's unhooked, I'll hook that up last, just so I want to make sure everything else is good. These are the bolts you're going to have to remove right here for the old motor. And then this gear will need to be, because I have the door open and I've cycled the motor, and we know that the motor is in the open cycle. So once I unhook this, I want this in the farthest back position, which is where, or I would want it in the furthest forward. This would be up here to this stop right here, and that would take this and push it out as far as it could go, and that's kind of the goal here. So we'll take these off. I think I have a 10mm socket. Put that on here, and again, this makes life a lot easier. Now there are isolators on top, I'll show you that, but they're isolators. When we take this down, I'll show you what they look like. There are a couple of them on top. I think there's 1 or 2 on the bottom, just holding it in place, so you have a little bit of gap with this plate here from the gear here. So I'll take that down first. That's the first one. Second one. Third one. And you already saw one of these little isolators fall down. So you don't want to lose them, and they tend to roll away pretty fast. So kind of reach up in there, grab the isolators that you can, take those down. I think there's one more on this side. Yep. And when you do that, then this just comes right off, comes right down. And that isolator's up here somewhere, right here. So maybe I'll move the camera where you can see a little better this way, where we're at, but this is where I took the bolts away from. Move the camera up a little further, and this is where we'll replace the new motor. Take the old one, get it out of my way so I don't mix it up. Here's the new motor. Matches up perfectly with the old one. You can see. And then we have to take this gear and move that all the way out. I don't know if you can see that from here, but this is where the gears run from this right here. So those will lock into this. So what I do is take this all the way to the stop. There's a little stop there, so I know I'm all the way there. This plate moves a little bit, but that's the plate you're going to have to tighten things up with. And now I will move over, and I might have to move the camera a little bit because I want to be able to see what I'm doing from this side. And hopefully you can see this as I go. This needs to go with the motor side that way. And you kind of pull down on this plate a little bit and make sure you're up against the stop here, and then get kind of lined up, and then make sure your teeth go in. And you can see my teeth are locked in there. And then now take these bolts again, get the first one maybe even going to hold it in place. I haven't put the isolators in yet, but I will do that in a minute. You can see too there's a center pin right here. That's the center pin to the hub of the gear, so you know you're kind of in the proper place. And then take your isolators on this side. We had one way up at the top. If you can see that, I put the isolator right there on top, and then I'll put one on the bottom here. I'll move this back. Now that I have that isolator up there, I just got to be real careful. Take this down, take the other isolator, and make sure there is this isolator goes between that metal plate and the other plate, so you pull down so you're not rubbing this plate up against anything. So that's got to be down, and your isolator's got to be between that and the bottom of your motor, and I'll show you that here in a second. But I got to get it up in there so it holds it up in place, and then I can do the other ones. There. Now you can see that I've got an isolator here. This plate is down on the bottom, not up top, not pushed up here. You don't put the isolator under this plate. You put it up where it goes on top of it that way. And then this isolator here. You get it somewhat screwed in by hand, then you can move on to the other two bolt downs. And I think I can show you that by just moving the camera over here. And we're going to have a bolt here and a bolt here, and the isolators, which I've already lost one. Hold on a second. Okay, I had to shut off the camera a minute because I lost one of the isolators. So here's our hole, and here's our hole for the last two screws, or bolts rather, whatever you want to call them. And they just one goes up in here. And again, make sure that that plate is down below, then run it up through the top into the hole, and then try to feed it all the way up. And you have to kind of pull the pump back, or the motor back a little bit to get that one to fit. And then where is my impact? Now I'm going to go tight, but I'm just going to enough to make sure the threads are set. So both of them are in a little bit, so I can then do the last one. And again, this one I have 2 more isolators. I put 1 on this side. I've got 2 up, 1 and 2 here, 1 here on the bottom, and then these 2 will go on this one. So we'll have on the bottom of that, hold that, pinch that plate down, and put your bolt in, and then you can see up, hopefully you can see up to the top here where it's going in, and I'll put the other isolator in there. You can use a needle nose if that helps. Usually I can do it like that. Then you got to push the motor over so you fit in that hole. Then again, take the impact, tighten that one a little bit. That one didn't go in. So I got to move this over a little. There we go. I think that bit by finger. Yep. This one didn't stay, which is okay because we can do that by hand, I think. Yep. And we should be good to go. The gears are into the teeth here. This is here, and this is all the way out. You'll see it'll get bolted in here, and should be able to plug it in. And for some reason, this one has the wire opposite of the old one, or at least that's how it looks. Yeah, the old one had the wire there. The new one, oh, they just have it taped up. Okay, so we can untape that real quick. So now, there we go. Should be able to run this up here and take our other bolt, and I have no idea where our clip went. Hold on a second. Okay, I found our clip and put on our 8mm, and hold on one second. All right, now we've got to reattach the power line, and it's shorter than the old one, so I have to do this a little different. But where that ground is, we'll clamp this wire, and I unclamped it. Is actually longer because it had a zip tie, so I did unhook that. So this will go here, and that'll keep it out of the way. And this one will clamp down from here. So we put the clamp back on over the wire and pinch it tight. Just like this. And we put this through there, and then make sure that the plug is where it's not going to move a lot, but you get it in by the rubber seal, and we tighten it up like that. Now we take this plug, we want to make sure it doesn't interfere with the gear, so we plug in like that, and then I'll take this with the ground, we'll take out and just put this clip back in. Make sure that we're clipping this down good. So we'll get it in here, kind of twist it that way. So I'm probably going to put a zip tie right there. the ground back in. Tighten it up. Right there. And I'll take the zip tie. I don't even know what that wire is going to, but we'll just so this doesn't move around too much, we will zip tie it to it. I'm good to go there. And I will probably do one more tie to hold it up through the frame, and it'll probably be a better idea to do it that way so it doesn't get caught on the gears. All right. Also, if you notice, there's a couple of wires hanging here free. I don't know what they're, one of them is to the light, obviously, but this one, I don't know what it's to. It's been hanging here the whole time. It's off of this electronic brain. I've been told that once in a while, when this goes, the motor goes, sometimes the brain goes too. And so far we're okay there. So let's go ahead and plug in. Well, no, I'm not done yet. I have to hook this up here so we're good to go with the step going in and out. You need a 1/2 inch wrench here and a 9/16 ratchet, and just get a hold of that sucker right there and here, and we just take this off. And then once this is unhooked, we go right over here, and it goes right on that. So up here we go on the steps, and I can even tap that sucker in. It's gonna push your step all the way out, so we should be fine. Put this on. Put your 1/2 inch back on there in your socket. Tighten this back down. Something I neglected to talk about, but what I did do is put the step all the way out and then brace it with this underneath it, just so it held it up. So it was out of my way while I was doing all of this. Don't forget to take this out when you try this out. In my case, I can literally, should be able to push that out there. And you see now we're hooked up here really well. This is what you take apart if your steps ever quit on you and you just quickly got to get out of there. Take this bolt off, unhook this, the steps will swing free. Then you just ratchet strap them down here to over here, and they're out of the way until you get to your location and you can fix whatever the problem is, motor or whatever. So now we go back and we put the fuse back in and stick, make sure that it's working, open and closing the door, and see if we got this thing fixed. All right, so here's the 10 amp fuse, and I think it's 10, I believe so, and it goes back in. We should be good. We have power now. Okay, so we put the fuse in, and I heard the steps retract when I did that, so now we guess we have to open the door to see if they're still working. And there you go, steps are working. And now the step cover should work as well. We'll come up here and we'll push that button, and the step cover is working as well now, which was just a fuse issue, but it's the same fuse for the steps. have to have the key on to make them work, but open, shut. Open, shut. We are all good. Time to clean up my mess, and I'm sure we'll see you soon as I go through the next repair, whatever that may be. Thanks. Marvell Bus out.